What's going on, YouTube? We are back again with another Tips by Tay episode. We're going to be doing some legs, mainly quad dominant today. We are, 7.5 weeks out now. I'm going to be doing quad focus with a little bit of hamstrings, but we're going to go through a full leg day, what I do, and we'll go through some tips of what I do and why I do certain movements. I have a little bit of a pain on my toe, so I might have to limit to certain movements, but we'll see what we can do. We just came back from a haircut, nice and fresh for you guys. And Koda's ready to go do some legs? No, he's not. Okay, let's get warmed up and let's get to it. First exercise, we're just going to warm up with a hamstring curl. Nothing too crazy. I'm not trying to hit any crazy numbers with this one. It's more so for pumping blood into the hamstrings. As I find once I warm up the hamstrings, it actually warms up the knees good for quads. So I always start with a good hamstring exercise, and then we go hard with the quads. So let's get rolling. Usually, most people don't really pay attention to their feet. Most people will start winging out, swinging just to get the movement. Pins with your knees will actually get the full, better contraction of the hamstrings. Usually people want to be like, oh, but I want to work on the outside of the hamstring, the inside of the hamstrings. Realistically, it's just better to keep your knees straight, toes straight, and curl the whole time. Just focus on that. It'll actually contract the entire hamstring properly. You'll actually get a better contraction in general. So, small tip there for you. Next up, we're going to warming up with leg extensions. Nothing too crazy, so just warming up the knees. And then we'll build up to one big set, and the last set we'll do a giant drop set just to really pump up the quads. So let's get going. Same thing with this one. Most people will get too caught up with which way your toes in out to hit your VM or your lateralis. Keep your knees straight. Line up your shins with your knees. Contract them both evenly. You get a better contraction. Focus on that first before you start getting too worried about how you put your feet placement. So just do it straight. You can learn to contract your muscle first. Another quick tip for this one, it's a little bit more advanced movement. So if you notice when I extend, at the bottom part of the stretch, I usually will tend to lean back just to get a further stretch, and then when I finally contract, I will bring my upper body in just to really contract the hip part. So I'll explain quickly. So on the down part and the stretch, I'll get a stretch here at the bottom, lean back a bit, and when I contract, come up. Stretch, but not to the point that I lose core control. Stretch, contract. Stretch, contract. Putting all the emphasis contracting here first. Most people put the emphasis here. This will contract no matter what when you're moving. This is the part most people have a hard time connecting to and growing that outer sweep of the leg. Put all the tension here. No matter what, this part of the leg will contract no matter what. So again, here, squeeze up. Put all that tension, focus right here, squeeze up. Here we go. next movement, we're gonna do a little bit squat movement variations are a little bit tough for me with my knees. So I usually like hack squat is very good. Every gym has a different one. We clearly have so many to pick from here, so we're very blessed. But the Atlantis is one of my favorite ones here. We go a little bit wider stance on this one, really get nice and deep. And then we're gonna go to the next exercise, will be more of like a leg press movement with a closer stance, just so we're getting every angle. So this one, a little bit wider stance. You really wanna get deep into the movement and explode up. Same thing I was saying before, you're gonna really feel the top of the quads when you're contracting these ones, because too many people move too much from the movement and worry about the contraction on the knees. You don't wanna contract the knees, you wanna contract the muscle to bend the knees. If that makes any sense. You don't wanna force the knee to contract, you want to contract the quads for it to bend the knees. That way, that's how you save your knees and keep it healthy. All right, let's get this rolling. So pumped I fucking ripped my shorts. Shit after your set you didn't do it right. I mean, I always look good, but I look like shit. Okay, that's enough of that. Gotta get the hydrations. Water is good for the body. Oh fuck, my brain's not working right now. Let's go. All right, next movement. We're gonna be doing a leg press variation. I think it's called a very horizontal leg press. It's a little bit different than most of the other ones. You kind of line down this one. I like the angle of it because you get really, really deep into the stretch to push out. You'll see the movement, how it goes if you guys haven't seen this machine before. Just really isolating the quads. We're gonna go a little bit more narrow on this one, just to really, really hit a different angle of the quads and really pump the hell out of this one. Try to get high reps, minimum 15 to 20 if you can, at a moderate weight. Heavier if you can, but always remember keep the form. And pushing off flat-footed. You don't have to push off your toes too much. Flat foot, and depends where you put the placement on the actual pad is where the angle will feel a bit more. Obviously, the higher you put it up, a little bit more hamstrings. The lower you put it down, a little bit more quads. But always press flat up against the machine. So, sorry, I'm out of breath. Let's get started. Make this a working set. Try to get as many reps as we can. Almost near the end of this shit. We're gonna do, this is I guess technically still a hack squat, but it's a little bit different variation. It's a little bit more quad dominant. It almost, like I was telling you earlier, almost feels like a half rep, but it really isolates the quads nicely and it locks you in. So this is a really good finisher for quads. We're gonna do this one, and we're gonna do one more finisher. I'll show you guys afterwards, and then we're getting into calves, and we're good to go for today. So for this movement, same thing again. This one I like to actually almost put my heels together, almost like V'ing out. So when I come down, I open up and I get deep into the press and I push out. Really working on that, same thing on the outer sweep, but more control. We're not gonna go super heavy on these. We're gonna go low control for high reps. So let me show you this. So V'ing out, as you come down, you V out, really try to get the hips in and explode right out of it. Actually, someone put a stopper too low. You wanna get a little deeper. They were cheating. There we go. Deep, 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 deep. Get that tension right at the upper quads. Squeeze. Last one finisher here, we're gonna do single leg extension, finish them off. And we're gonna finish off with a hip flexor movement. I'll show you how to use that on the leg. I use the leg curl machine, but I kind of make my own style. But I'll show you guys in a sec. So we'll start with this one first. Oh, my legs are fried. Doesn't it suck to have two legs? I'm gonna do both sides. All right, so normally this is actually supposed to be a hamstring machine, like this, but I'm using a different variation. Climb up, and I use this, hook my foot, and we're gonna drive with the hip flexor. Up, full stretch, 2, 3, same thing, all here, 4. Okay, I psyched myself out. We're actually do one more. We're gonna do calf, the donkey raise ones. One of my favorite ones. It actually feels really nice on the calves. We're gonna superset it. Standing calves, just quick pump through, see how my toes feel. Like I said, it was hurting earlier, so the toe off might be a little iffy. So we'll do light work, just pump it out, and then we'll wrap it up. So start with this one first. as I pull my pants up. The leg workout, quick, sweet, right to the point, but it was effective. My toe actually held off pretty good, so I don't know what's going on. I'll take a look at it after. But that's a wrap, guys. We are, like I said, just under 7.5 weeks out now. I'll be trying to post a little bit more content more frequently. Now I got a helper helping me out. I'll be posting and tagging all her stuff too, so you can follow her along because she's prepping as well. My brain's not working. Thanks for following. Follow, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Tune in next time, guys. See you next workout.